Greetings, children. Welcome to my channel, Inside Accountancy by Shakun, Accounting Made Easy. Today we'll be talking about Chapter 8, Dissolution of a Firm. In this video, we'll be talking about the meaning of dissolution, just a brush up as I've already explained in the previous videos. Accounting entries at the time of dissolution, which is a topic that is being continued in this video from the previous one because we were not able to complete all, and the format of realization account. So, dissolution, as you all know, that when the economic relationship between all the partners comes to an end, when the business comes to an end, when the business is discontinued or is wound up, that is referred to as dissolution of a partnership firm. Let's talk about the accounting entries that are to be made at the time of dissolution of a firm. So at the time of dissolution, there is certain sequence that needs to be followed. First is that you all need to close all the asset account. Then all the liability accounts are closed. Then all the assets are realized. Then all the liabilities are settled. We have already discussed about all these four aspects in the previous video. For more details, you can click on the I button. Today we'll be talking about the accounting entries for the topics that were left. So after we close the assets, close the liabilities, realize the assets and settle the liabilities, then there are also certain expenses that are there at the time of realization. So at the time of dissolution, there may be certain expenses which need to be accounted for. So let's see what the journal entries are in case of realization expenses. So for realization expenses, there are certain cases. The first case is when realization expenses are borne and paid by the firm. Now, you must remember that in case of realization expenses, the person who bears the expense should always be debited. And the person who pays the expense should always be credited. Okay. So when realization expenses are borne and paid by whom? By the firm. That means the firm is paying it and the firm is bearing it. That means the firm's account should be debited and the firm's account should be credited. Now we cannot debit or credit firm's account. So since these are expenses, we cannot create a new account. So in place of that, the realization account shall be debited. And since it is paid by the firm through cash or bank, therefore cash or bank account will be credited. So if you remember this rule, then I think cracking the journal entries would be easier for you. The second case is when the realization expenses are borne by the firm but paid by the partner. So who's bearing it? The firm is bearing it. So obviously the firm's account, that is realization account, should be debited. And since it is paid by the partner, the concerned partner's capital account should be credited. So since the firm was bearing, realization debited, partner is paying, partner is credited. The third case is when the realization expenses are borne and paid by the same partner. So the partner is bearing it and the partner is paying it. In that case, no entry will be passed. Why no entry will be passed? Because the partner is bearing it. So partner's capital should be debited and the partner is paying it. So partner's capital should be credited also. Now in one journal entry, the same account cannot be debited and credited. So therefore this entry will not be recorded. Also, born and paid by the same partner, it also means that the partner will bear the realization expenses out of his own pocket. So that's why we do not pass any entry for the same. The next case is when partner agrees to carry out the dissolution for an agreed remuneration. So the remuneration which is given to the partner for carrying out the dissolution work, for that the entry would be realization account DR to concerned partner's capital account. Since remuneration may be any kind of commission or salary, so since it's an expense for the firm, new account cannot be created. So on that logic, realization account is debited. And since the partner is receiving something from the firm, therefore partner's capital is credited. Moving on, the next case is when realization expenses are borne by a partner and paid by the firm. Now, according to the logic which I told you, that the one who bears is debited and one who pays is credited. Now, it's borne by partner, so partner should be debited. Paid by the firm, how will the firm pay? Through cash or bank. Therefore, cash or bank should be credited. So these are the different journal entries. Let's understand this with the help of an example. So example 1. Realization expenses or dissolution cost amounted to rupees 2500. Now in this journal entry, it has not been mentioned who's bearing it and who's paying it. So we'll assume that it is paid by the firm. It is borne and paid by the firm. Since nothing is mentioned, so therefore we will assume that it is borne and paid by the firm. That's why our entry realization to cash. Let's take another example. Realization expenses amounting to 3000 were paid by Ashok, that is one of the partners. So in that case, the journal entry would be, since it is paid by the partner, so partner's capital account is credited and realization is debited on account of the fact that it is a realization expense. Then let's take another example. Example 3. Realization expenses are to be borne by Rashim, for which he will be paid 70,000 as remuneration for completing the dissolution process. So who's going to bear it? Rashim is going to bear the realization expenses and he is going to get 70,000 as remuneration. 70,000 is his remuneration for completing the dissolution process. The actual expenses incurred by Rashim were 1,20,000. So actual expenses which he paid was 1,20,000. So what will be the entry? Our entry will be realization account DR to Rashim's capital. Now this entry is for the remuneration that is paid to the partner for carrying out the dissolution work. Okay, so we had to pay him 70,000, so we have passed the entry for 70,000. Now for the remaining one, the actual expenses were 1,20,000, but no entry has been made for actual expenses. Why? Because they had to be borne by Rashim. When the partner bears the realization expenses, if the realization expenses are borne and paid by partner, in that case, you remember we talked about that no entry will be passed. So we will not pass any entry for this amount, for the actual realization expenses, but for the remuneration that is payable to him, for that we will pass an entry. Let's take another example. So the next example is, Naman, a partner, was appointed to look after the process of dissolution, for which he was allowed again a remuneration of 9,000. So this is the remuneration. We will pass an entry. Naman is receiving it, so Naman will be credited, and since it's a remuneration and expense, the realization should be debited. Naman agreed to bear the dissolution expenses. He agreed to bear the dissolution expenses, and actual dissolution expenses of 4,000 were paid by the firm. See, there are 3 points to be mentioned, noted here. One is the remuneration of 9,000, for which we will pass an entry. Naman agreed to bear the dissolution expenses, no entry for that. Then actual dissolution expenses were 4,000, which were paid by the firm. So this is the case where it is borne by partner and paid by firm. So our journal entry in this case would be, the first entry will be for the remuneration that we have to pay to Naman. So realization account to Naman's capital for the remuneration, and then since he is bearing it, so partner's capital account is debited and it is paid by the firm. So that's why cash or bank account is credited. Let's take another example. Jeev, a partner, agreed to do the work of dissolution, for which he was allowed a commission of 10,000. So again, he was allowed a commission of 10,000. That's the remuneration. And for that, we have passed this entry, realization account DR to Jeev's capital account. He agreed to bear the dissolution expenses Actual dissolution expenses paid by Jeev were 12,000. These expenses were paid by Jeev by drawing cash from the firm. Now, for 10,000, I think the entry would be clear. This is the remuneration. We've passed an entry. But the partner is going to bear the expenses. Okay. Actual expenses which he is paying is 12,000. If the question ended here, we would not have passed any entry. But it is written that these expenses were paid by drawing cash from the firm. That is why we have made this entry. Jeeves' capital is debited because he is bearing, that's why his capital is debited, and to cash because it is withdrawn from the firm. So that's why we have credited cash or bank. If this entry, if the last line was not given here, then no entry would have been passed for the 12,000. Moving on. Let's take a last example for realization expenses. Amit, a partner, was appointed to realize the asset at a cost of 4,000. He was expected to realize at a cost of 4. The actual amount of realization amounted to 3,000. Now in this case, again two entries will be passed. The first entry will be the remuneration which will be given to Amit. Since he was appointed to realize the asset at a cost of 4, that means this is the amount of remuneration to be given to him. For that, we pass this entry, realization to Amit's capital or current account. The actual amount of realization expenses amounting to 3,000. Okay, I think I've missed out expenses word here. So the actual amount of expenses amounted to 3,000. For that, we have passed the entry. Since it's not given who's bearing it, who's paying it. So we are assuming that it is borne and paid by the firm. Okay, so this will be our entry. So I have explained realization expenses with the help of examples. Now let's go back to our sequence page. So we had already talked about all these things, and we have also talked about the realization expenses. Now let's talk about the next parameter, which is the entries for profit or loss on realization. Let's talk about these entries now. So for profit or loss on realization, our journal entries would be, after preparing the realization account, if there is profit on realization, as you know that while you prepare any T-shaped account, which is related to profit, let's say revaluation account or P&L account or P&L appropriation account, any such account when you make, you know that the balancing figure, if the balancing figure comes here on the debit side, that is always the profit. And if the balancing figure comes on the credit side, that is always the loss, right? So when there is profit on realization, so now when we are making the realization account and after we put all the entries in the realization account, if the balancing figure comes on the profit side, debit side, that means there is profit. In that case, what will be the entry? Simply, since the figure is coming on the debit side, that means realization account shall be debited. So our entry will be realization account DR2. Obviously, the amount of profit will be distributed between how many partners there are in the firm. Now the loss comes as a balancing figure on the credit side. So in case there is loss on realization, then the realization account should be credited. So in that case, our entry would be partners capital account DR2 realization account. Right, so these are the entries in case of profit or in case of loss on realization, because after we close all the assets, liabilities and realize assets and settle assets and do make all the adjustments for realization expenses, then we need to close our realization account to find out the profit or loss, and after ascertaining the profit or loss, then the respective journal entry can be passed. Let's go back to the page. So we've talked about the profit or loss on realization. The next thing which we are required to do is we need to make entries for the transfer of reserves and accumulated profits and losses. Let's understand that. As you already know that any kind of reserves or accumulated profits or losses should be written off or it should be transferred to the partner's capital account in their old ratio. So for transfer of accumulated profits or reserves, accumulated profits or reserves means those entries which those accounts which you find on the liability side. Okay, so if this is the balance sheet, so on the liability side, the accounts that you find, they are all accumulated profits or reserves. And if in the balance sheet you find anything on the asset side, they are the accumulated losses, right? So for the transfer of accumulated profits or reserves, since they appear on the liability side, all these have a credit balance, and when you want to write them off, you are going to debit them. So our entry will be reserve. Let's say if I'm just giving you examples about the various things that might be shown on the liability side in the balance sheet. So if reserve fund is given, reserve fund account DR, or general reserve account DR, or profit and loss account DR, or workmen compensation fund account DR, all these accumulated profits or reserves are debited because they are written off, and they are transferred to partners capital or current account. In which ratio? In the old ratio. In case of dissolution, there is no change in the profit sharing ratio, so obviously in the ratio that is given in the firm. Now in case when for the transfer of accumulated losses, so losses, they appear on the asset side. So on the asset side, that means they have a DR balance. So now when you want to write them off, you have to credit them. So who will be debited? The partners will be debited. So partners capital or current account debit to, if some fictitious asset is given, or to deferred revenue expenditure, or to profit and loss account. So again, this will be done in the old ratio. If you notice, I have not written investment fluctuation fund or reserve here. Why have I not written it here? Because this is transferred to realization account, because investments are transferred. So IFR or IFF is also transferred. So that is why it will not be written off here. In spite of the fact you used to do that in admission and retirement, but here in dissolution, IFR or IFF is transferred to realization account. It is not written off between the partners. Similarly, in this case, normally you always write off the goodwill also. But in this case, goodwill will not be written off, because goodwill, like any other asset, is transferred to realization account. So now let's go back to the main page. Okay, so we've talked about the transfer of reserves and accumulated profits and losses also. The next step is the settlement of partner's loan. So if the partner has given any loan to the firm, or if the firm has given any loan to the partner, that needs to be settled. So for settlement of partner's loan, for settlement of loan that is advanced by a partner. Loan advanced by a partner means the loan which the partner has given to the firm, it appears on the liability side, and such loan advanced, it has a credit balance. So partner's loan, as you know, I already explained that partner's loan account is not transferred to realization account. So it is not transferred to realization account, where only external liabilities or third party liabilities are transferred. So it has to be taken care of outside the realization account. So since it is a liability having a CR balance, now we are going to pay it, so we are going to debit it. So our journal entry will be the partner's loan account DR to cash or bank. Since we are making a payment, the liability is decreasing, therefore partner's loan is debited. Please note that whenever the liability is used to decrease, we always used to debit realization account. Why? Because those liabilities were transferred to realization account. Here we have not done that. Why? Because this partner's loan was not transferred to realization account. Okay, so next is for the settlement of loan that is advanced to a partner. So the loan which appears on the asset side, the loan which the firm has given to the partner, that has a DR balance, and when we want to write it off, so we have to credit it. So our entry will be partner's capital or current account DR to partner's loan. So this loan which is given by the firm to a partner, that is not received in cash, that is transferred to partner's capital or current account. Please see the difference here. The loan which is a liability is settled through cash or bank. And the loan, which is an asset which the firm has given, that is transferred to partners capital or current account. So this was all about the settlement of partners loan. Let's go back to the page. So we have talked about all these issues. The last thing that we need to take care of is the settlement of partners capital account. So the partner's capital account needs to be made and all the entries need to be posted, and then thereafter we need to settle the partner's capital account. Why do we need to settle? Why are we using the word settlement here? Because of the reason that it is dissolution we are talking about. The firm is coming to an end. Therefore, whatever is the balance of partner's capital or current account is transferred to capital only. So whatever is the balance, that has to be paid to the partners. So whatever is the balance in the partner's capital account, that has to be closed through cash. So in case when there is a credit balance in partner's capital account, when the balance is a credit balance, in that case our entry will be partners capital account DR to cash. Credit balance means, have a look here. Suppose this is the partners capital account DR and CR. Okay. Credit balance means the balance which comes here. If the balancing figures come here to balance carried down. Okay. This balance, if the balancing figure comes on the debit side, we say it is a credit balance. Okay. So in that case, the partner is paid the amount. So partner's capital account DR to cash or bank. So instead of writing to balance carried down, we shall write to cash or bank and we shall make the payment. Okay. But when there is a debit balance, that is the balancing figure comes on the credit side, then in that case our entry is cash bank account DR to partners capital account. I'll show it here. So if the balancing figure comes here on the credit side, that means this balancing figure is a debit balance. Okay, as you know that it is always transferred to the other side. So if the balancing figure comes on the CR side, that means it is a debit balance. And in that case, it means that the partner must bring in more cash. He must bring in more cash in order to settle his account. So instead of writing here by balance carried down, we shall write by cash or by bank, depending upon the question, what is given in the question, cash or bank. So these were the entries for the settlement of partners capital account. So this is all that we have studied till now in the previous video and in this one also regarding dissolution, the entries that have to be passed. So in dissolution, first of all, we close all our assets, we close all our liabilities, then we realize our assets, we settle all our liabilities. If there are any realization expenses, we make proper treatment for that. Then we balance the realization account and find out the profit or loss. Then any reserve or accumulated profit or losses have to be written off. Partners loan amount has to be paid to them. And finally, partners capital account is to be prepared and it has to be settled. Amount has to be closed. So this was all about the sequence. Now I am going to show you the realization account, the format of realization account, which we will be discussing in the next video. So this is the way the realization account will show. So all the assets and liabilities which were written off are shown here. If you notice here, for closing of the assets, our entry was realization to sundry assets. So that has been posted here on the debit side. For closing of the liabilities, our entry was liabilities account DR to realization. So that has been posted here on the credit side. So I'm just briefly telling you that how the postings have been made. So this entry was realization account DR to the assets. So it has been posted on the debit side. This was liability account DR to realization. So this has been posted on the credit side. So all the liabilities are transferred the way I explained in the previous video in the examples. Then after that, then we start realizing our assets. Okay. So by cash or bank, which entry is this? When we realize assets, means cash is coming in. So cash account DR to realization. So this entry is posted on the credit side. Or when an asset is taken over by a partner, that is partner's capital account DR to realization. Again, this entry is posted on the credit side. Then we need to pay our liabilities. So realization account DR to cash. Maybe some partner takes over a liability. So realization account DR to partner's capital account. To cash or bank, this is the payment to creditor as amount due exceeds the agreed value of assets that are taken over. So these were the different entries that I just wrote for you again, so that you know how these entries are to be posted. So furthermore, so amount received, if a creditor was given an asset and he paid certain amount back to us, that can be mentioned here. So cash to realization. So next is the sale of unrecorded assets. If there are unrecorded assets, in that case also our entry is cash to realization. You can show it under one head also. Here, these are for the realization expenses. So realization account DR to cash or bank. Then if the partner agrees, then realization account DR to partner's capital. For any kind of remuneration that you are paying to the partner, realization to partner's capital. For any unrecorded liability that you are paying, realization to cash or bank. So these are the journal entries which I just explained to you. I'm writing it here again so that you know how they have been posted. So after you do everything, then you need to find out the total of the debit and credit side, find out the balancing figure. If the balancing figure comes on the debit side, then this is the profit that should be transferred to the partners in their old profit sharing ratio. And if the balancing figure comes here on the credit side, then that is the loss again, which shall be distributed between the partners in their ratio. So this was all about the format of realization account. So in this video, we have talked about the meaning of dissolution of a firm, the accounting entries at the time of dissolution, which I've spoken in the previous video also, and in this video also, it's a topic in continuation. Also, we talked about the format of realization account and how to do the balancing. I hope it is clear to everyone. If you have any questions, you can contact me on my email ID or even leave a comment. You're more than welcome to do that. Like, share and subscribe to my channel. Pass it on to others. So this is Inside Accountancy by Shakun signing off. Thank you.